Hey, Phoenixville, Larry King here, inviting you to the 75th Annual Dogwood Parade. The event is scheduled for this Saturday, May 19th, in conjunction with Armed Forces Day, and will honor the past decades of our local military. It's going to be the biggest and the best ever. Over 2 hours. 2 hours of marching bands, mummers, floats, and lots of local celebrities, including the Grand Marshal, local baseball legend, former Cleveland Indians star, Andre Thornton. Enjoy the day, gang. Have a great time.
Live from historical Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, it's the 75th Annual Phoenixville Dogwood Parade, presented by Vidian Chevrolet and Benchmark Federal Credit Union. You're watching the live stream on the VOXIPOP Digital Network. And now, from Crowded Castle Brewery, across the street from Phoenixville's famed Colonial Theater, here's our hosts, Rob Freeze and Dolly Winston.
I'm Rob Freeze.
And I'm Dolly Winston.
It's a great opportunity to be here with you today. We look forward to a wonderful time, a tremendous broadcast, a trip down memory lane that'll bring us right up to the future.
Hey, wave them all, wave.
So we're going to start the parade with the Phoenixville Police. It involves our own Chief Sodstrom. We look forward to our safety throughout the year from these wonderful gentlemen. And now we're going to have the Veterans of Foreign Wars Honor Guard and their wagon. Go ahead. So the post is actually celebrating its 90th anniversary this year. Post 1564 has been leading the parade on Armed Forces Day since the beginning and averages $75,000 of donations to our community, and they're proud to sponsor our local Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. The Veterans of Foreign Wars will be holding a brief ceremony at the Veterans Memorial at Main Street and 2nd Avenue during the parade. So if you're in the area, please stop by to attend that event. So while the parade comes up behind us, you'll see that it's the Phoenixville Marching Band. This is comprised of the Phoenixville Area High School and the middle school. We certainly appreciate the fact that in spite of the weather, these folks have showed up to make sure that this is a great opportunity for Phoenixville to celebrate. Now, we're going to throw you out to our man on the street or woman on the street or reporter on the street, Steph Guest.
Favorite memory of growing up in Phoenixville?
Playing sports, of course.
Absolutely.
Great place to grow up, yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for bringing the Grand Marshal.
Well, it's good to be back.
So Life and Times, during Desert Storm, specifically 1991, it was a time that was kind of interesting, I'd say, for the country. We were fighting in Desert Storm. Desert Storm didn't last that long. We were there and out, fairly quick in terms of wars of previous years. At that time, the seal company was closed. The businesses in Phoenixville were very minimal, and I can speak on that personally because that's kind of when I grew up, and it was in that time period into the 1990s. The time period now compared to them when I was a kid, you didn't really go down to Bridge Street to hang out too much. So compared to now, it's such a drastic difference in a short period of time.
Benchmark has been in existence for over 75 years. While we got our start as a single sponsored credit union for Wyeth employees and their family members, we were granted a community charter in April of 2015 to be able to offer the benefits of membership to anyone living, working, or worshiping, or attends school in Chester County. We love Phoenixville, we see how much it's growing, and we want to help the community grow and also get our name out there to let them know that we are here for them. At Benchmark Federal Credit Union, you will never be just a number. So come on down to the Phoenixville location and discover what we can offer you today.
As a new resident of Phoenixville myself, and Vidian Chevrolet of Phoenixville also being a new resident, we are proud to be sponsoring the 75th anniversary of the Phoenixville Dogwood Festival and Parade. And we look forward to meeting every one of you out there on the parade route or during the festival.
We wanted to sponsor the Dogwood Parade. We're new to the area, and we thought, what a better way than to be a part of such a great event, something that started 75 years ago, something that started to raise money for our war bonds. And to be a part of that, we thought it would be a great way to introduce ourselves to the Phoenixville area. Vidian Chevrolet of Phoenixville and the Vidian family are so happy and proud to be a sponsor of the Dogwood Parade. And we look forward to seeing everyone there on Saturday at the parade.
So next up is the Phoenixville Area High School Band. This is comprised of both the high school and the middle school. They're going to be playing for your entertainment throughout the entire duration of the parade. The weather hasn't been the best, but it certainly is great to hear the great tunes of the band as they stop and do a short presentation for us. Yeah. In addition to the band, we also have the color guard in the back, and they're all obviously all dressed for this inclement weather. Throughout our broadcast today, we're actually going to be having some brief memories shot by people throughout the community. So we'll have those for you, and we'll introduce those as they come along for your viewing entertainment. We certainly appreciate that. What you should know is here in the where we're broadcasting from is the Avalon String Band. We've got our own house band today, so we're looking forward to them performing right here at Crowded Castle. And we're broadcasting live from Crowded Castle right on Bridge Street. So if you've got nothing else to do or you need a cold beer, we want to remind you that it never rains inside of a bar.
One of my favorite Dogwood memories was in the early to mid-1960s when I was in grade school. Valley Forge General Hospital was still operating just outside of Phoenixville, and it had a big presence not only in the Dogwood Parade but in the static displays in Reeves Park. And one thing that we always loved to go through was the tent that had Bloody Charlie in it. Bloody Charlie was reclining. He had every major injury known to mankind, complete with flowing blood and stuff. And a lot of my buddies wouldn't go through because it made them too squeamish. So it was always a challenge.
My favorite memory, when you say Dogwood, right away I go to Booker Bar. It's a classmate of mine. He was the drum major in the high school band, and I'm telling you, we could not wait. The community could not wait to see the Dogwood Parade because Booker Bar was going to turn it out, and he did every time.
I can remember when my future husband walked in the parade with the National Guard. One of the members of the National Guard had his shoes on the wrong feet and walked the whole distance of the parade with his shoes on the wrong feet. And let me tell you, when he got done, his feet were sore.
So next in the parade is the Phoenixville Fire Department, and the first truck you see is for the Phoenixville Dive Team. Phoenixville Dive Team responds to calls throughout the entire Chester County as well as surrounding counties. So we're very lucky to have them here. They started in 1952 following two very unfortunate drownings at the dam, and they continue to exist these days for our own safety. We've got some tremendous equipment here that protects the community, and certainly their response time, it's a unique opportunity for the community. We have both paid drivers as well as volunteers that respond for the public safety. So we certainly appreciate everything that the fire company does for this community and the surrounding townships and boroughs. This is harder than I thought it was going to be, Dolly. What do you think?
I think you're doing a good job, Rob. I think we're a good team.
I think you're doing a great job. Thanks for being here today. Some of the equipment that the fire company operates is a 100-foot aerial ladder. There are 3 engines, a utility and squad trucks, along with the rescue boat that operates with the dive team. The truck that's rolling by right now is running all the advertisements for all of our sponsors. We've got 2 major sponsors here today. We've got Vidian Chevrolet, which is located on Nut Road, and Benchmark Federal Credit Union. They're 2 great organizations here in town that make our community great. They've got great services, and they're tremendous sponsors, so that we have the opportunity to bring this to you today, live streamed from Crowded Castle on Bridge Street. I'm not sure what that is, Dolly. It looks like
Dinosaur.
Is it what sort of dinosaur? Are you a paleontologist? Do you understand dinosaurs?
No, I do not. But I know one thing: the kids love them.
Kids love candy, Dolly.
Oh, yes,
Kids just
they
love candy.
do.
They don't care
Look
whether
at
it's coming from a
'em.
fire truck or a weird dinosaur that's walking down the middle of the street.
Yes, he's excited.
So we continue to thank you for watching our broadcast, and we're going to take you to a memory with Barbara Cohen.
Kiwanis for many, many years. George Henkel, we and others in the group all participated for the Kiwanis Club of Phoenixville. Also, as president of the Schuylkill River Heritage Center, in 1 week of the Dogwood Festival, we got over 2,000 names of people who signed the petition to bring back the mural. And that's what we're working on this year, and we'll hopefully achieve that this summer.
So my favorite memory of the Dogwood Parade is that I actually have been a participant in it. Magic Memories has a float in it every year. So we get together, the staff and the kids and the families usually participate, and we go through town. It's so fun to see the community get together and the excitement in the kids' faces. We normally get together on the north side of town and prep, get the truck put together, get everything ready to go, the bags and the candy. We go through town, and we're looking forward to doing it again this year. Magic Memories will have a float in the parade, and we will see you on Saturday the 19th.
Really, one of my fondest memories of the Dogwood Parade has to have been constructing the float. Annually, they would build the float down in the borough garage. And it was fun as a kid to go with your dad, to go with your brother, to go with your mom, and everybody else that helped build the float. They were stretched around with chicken wire, and then you literally tucked pieces of tissue paper into each of the chicken wire holes. The elaborateness of the float, coupled with the camaraderie that everybody shared there. To observe that as a kid was just wonderful.
Hi, Vincent. So you're going to read a poem today.
Yes, I am.
What inspired this poem?
Well, I've been living in Phoenixville on and off since I moved here when I was 8, and running around all the old steel site and behind in the back alleys, I've just found so many things to love about the town, and I really want to keep inspiring people to find things to love about the town for themselves. So as Phoenixville is changing, I think art plays a really big role in preserving and recreating a new mythology for the town to use as a spirit. So it's really important to me. I love the people here, and I want to keep that going.
That is so great. So you're going to read your poem for us?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So we're taking a brief pause while we listen to Vince Tavani read his poem to the crowd on the street. Vince has constructed a poem specifically for the Dogwood Parade. Oh my goodness, look at us.
Oh.
We look great.
You look great.
We look
Bob.
fantastic. That's great. So yeah, now, the weather is it's been a terrible week.
Yes.
I'm thinking about buying goats to take care of my lawn instead of having to cut the grass. because you can't even get out there anymore.
I know, it's so hard.
I saw that boat go by, and I thought it'd be good. Like, maybe they bring that back in case it continues to rain.
Oh, no, I know. We might need to put somebody in it, right?
Well, we look wonderful. Look at you.
Yes,
Your hair looks good.
This is great.
So for everybody here in Phoenixville that's close by, we are broadcasting direct from Crowder Castle on Bridge Street. Now, I will tell you that while the weather's inclement outside, it never rains in the bar. And we have something very special that's going to go on here a little bit later. I'd like to think of it as our own house band. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's beautiful. And the costumes, come on down.
They're not costumes. I think they wear those every day.
No.
I have pajamas. I have pajamas that look just like that. Mine have a little trapdoor in the back, though, just in case.
You go to bed fancy like that? Ooh,
I go to. Oh, you have no idea. In fact, I was thinking about wearing it today instead of this T-shirt. Look, Voxy Pop, though. Voxy Pop, that's the voice of Phoenixville. They're the people that are bringing this live stream to you today. It's unbelievable.
Wouldn't that have been great?
Well, if I had that on, I don't know that I could pull off the hat. I could not pull off the hat and the headset, though.
Oh, yes, you could.
No.
Rob, you could do anything you want to do.
I could not. Oh, boy, look at that. That's something.
Oh, my goodness. If you guys could see the costumes and the beautiful atmosphere right down here, you would just come on down and join us.
I think you need to come on down to Crowder Castle. It never rains in a bar. No. We're very proud to have Crowder Castle assist us with this today. They were able to open up early. They were able to set up early. They gave us a great view of the parade. Really, it's just wonderful.
It felt right at home. Didn't it feel right at home?
It's if I could move in here.
Oh, me too.
I could move in here. They cook.
Yes.
They clean up after me.
Absolutely.
I've been married a long time. That's exactly what my wife does.
Oh, really? Oh, you got it good, Rob. And Michelle, she was such a warm person when we came in.
Oh,
the
yeah.
owner. We just are so blessed to have business owners that will pull together when we're needed.
We're going to resume the parade, and here comes Katie McNellis as the 2018 Dogwood Festival Chair. She works with operations for the Phoenixville JAYCEES and actively volunteers for the events run by the Chamber of Commerce in Phoenixville First. She loves being involved in community, and we certainly appreciate all the efforts that she's put forth to make the 2018 Dogwood Festival and the Dogwood Parade a tremendous success. So the next up is Ray Rodriguez, who's the president of the Phoenixville JAYCEES. Ray is awesome. And he has a great opportunity to run a great organization. My dad was a JC, and I observed all the lessons that the JCs taught, from the ability to learn and understand how to cooperate and lead and participate and volunteer. It's just wonderful that we have their resources here in our community.
Absolutely. I can remember as a little girl, they would pick families and they would actually pick families. We would go to grants, and they would pick maybe 25, 30 kids and let you go Christmas shopping.
The shopping tour, the children's shopping tour. Sure. So look at this. This is, one of the greatest things about the parade, obviously, is the opportunity for kids to pick up candy. And here comes our mayor. Here comes our mayor, Peter Uschler.
Peter Uschler.
Here's our reporter on the street, Stephanie, with Peter. Steph, take it away.
Hi, Peter.
Hi,
so,
how are you?
thank you for being in the parade today. And what is your favorite part of being mayor?
Oh my gosh, my favorite part is that we have an amazing community. Phoenixville is just a great place. It's a great place to live. We have wonderful people, and we have great celebrations like this, where we come out and we celebrate not only the armed services, but also the people of the Phoenixville community.
Well, we appreciate you, Mayor. Back to you, Rob.
Yeah, so Mayor Peter asked that all citizens take today to not only celebrate our beautiful community, but also remember the heroes who we've lost, and as well as the heroes for both past and present, as well as our everyday heroes, our first responders who serve our community on a daily basis. So it looks like Peter may have some candy for everybody on the street, too. In fact, he does. Oh, here's a spectator out to greet Peter. It's nice to see that people are filling the streets to be able to observe this great parade. Everybody's persevered through the weather, and Mother Nature's cooperated by stopping the rain, at least momentarily, so that we could all enjoy this great event. We did lose a few participants today. Some of the mummers bands have not been able to participate simply because of their elaborate costumes would have gotten wet, and we certainly wouldn't want that. It's not a particularly good day for bicycles or motorcycles, so while we certainly appreciate Rolling Thunder's willingness to participate, they're not going to be able to join us just because of the weather.
My favorite Dogwood memory was my first Dogwood. I was actually tasked with selling 50/50 raffle tickets for the Phoenixville JAYCEEs. And going around and meeting all of the people at Dogwood, seeing all of the children and the people who were there enjoying their time, it's really what made me fall in love with Phoenixville, and I realized how special a place this was. And it was so nice to see people out with one another celebrating the Phoenixville community and celebrating community service. I can't wait for the 75th anniversary.
My favorite memory was trying to get the candy all the way across the street to some of the kids, because there was one building where the people were standing on the roof, and I threw as hard as I could, but it just fell into the street, which was a little disappointing, but I tried.
For me, one of my fondest memories actually happened last year. I typically don't get to see the parade, but I was walking from my place over to Reeves Park to handle ticket sales and that type of stuff. And I was, at the beginning of the parade, I saw Ronald McDonald riding up a unicycle, juggling up Main Street towards the park. And I thought that was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And I can imagine all the kids looking at that and thinking, what a great show.
Unfortunately, while the Super Bowl was back in February, the Eagles are still the world champs. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
It's amazing, and we're really lucky to have the Eagles Pep Van, the Eagles Victory Van and the Eagles Pep Band with us today, sponsored by the R. Strunk Funeral Home and Cremation Service, and we certainly appreciate their sponsorship of this. They're opening their new facility at 400 Main Street, right across from the park. But it's a great opportunity for the folks here at Phoenixville to be entertained by this great group, as well as to celebrate the Eagles' Super Bowl victory.
Yes, indeed. Eagles. Yes, we're looking forward to the 2018-19 season.
So we should go G-O-E-A-L-E-S. Go Eagles.
Go
right?
Eagles. G-A-E. No, I messed it up.
We're not good. We're not good with that. We're not sports fans. Here we go. There they are. They did a much better job of that than we did.
All right, this is the judging portion of our show.
They did a much better job of that than we did.
We're trying to improve from our last place last year.
Who this is?
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh, the Prince and Princess of the Dogwood Festival. That's marvelous. Look at that.
Oh, look
Isn't
how
that-
cute.
That's nice. You know, they're not even in our agenda here today. It's nice.
What is it like being the princess of the parade?
Well, it's really
just standing here and throwing candy.
Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being in the parade. Great job. Back to you, Rob.
So we're back. We're back with the Chester County Hazmat Unit. This has been sponsored by, sponsored by everybody here in Chester County. They're the opportunity to make sure that if we've got trouble, they're going to respond. This is a county resource, not like the Phoenixville Fire Department that you saw a little earlier. Let's take a break for a short commercial from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Molly Bass, Branch Supervisor at Benchmark Federal Credit Union. We are so excited to be a part of the Phoenixville community. Benchmark is based in Westchester, and as we continue to grow, we opened our newest location in Phoenixville in the Acme Shopping Center. We have developed some great new relationships and love this community. We are thrilled to be a part of this year's 75th Annual Dogwood Parade and love watching Phoenixville continue to grow along with us. Please stop in or contact us just to say hi or to find out how we might help you or your business with your banking needs.
Cameron Peters Floral Design has been hand-delivering premium floral arrangements and gift baskets to help strengthen relationships, give love and support, and celebrate life's special moments since 2017. See how Cameron Peters Floral Design can help you today.
We have 12 tap lines, but we can brew as many, up to 7.5 barrel systems, and we have 6 15-barrel fermenters.
How fun is this, guys, that we have a place here in Phoenixville that you can come, drink good beer, and like play a game like this?
It's fun, it's great. You literally can just sit here, hang out, it's like you're at your own home.
Magic Memories provides care for children between 6 weeks old and 5th grade. Degreed teachers implement an award-winning curriculum in age-appropriate classrooms to support learning and exploring through socialization and play and support our enriching summer camp programs.
At our Strunk Funeral Home, we understand the difficulties that arise with the passing of a loved one and the burden that a service can have in an already emotional situation. We are ready and dedicated to handle the several facets that a service demands to make sure your loved one's memory is respected and fondly remembered. As we prepare to open our services to the community of Phoenixville, we wanted to introduce ourselves to the welcoming environment of the town and make sure that the 75th Annual Parade is a resounding success.
Hi, my name is Steve Vidian, owner of Vidian Chevrolet of Phoenixville, and we are so excited to be a part of the Phoenixville community. The Vidian family has been in the automobile business since 1964 in Newtown Square. And now we had an opportunity to move out to the Phoenixville area. And we grabbed that opportunity because we see the great growth that you have here. We had the opportunity to be a major sponsor of the Dogwood Festival Parade. We thought, what a great opportunity for us to be a part of this great community. So we look forward to seeing you and your family at the parade.
I covered the parade ever from 1991 to this year. I'll be taking pictures of a group shot of all the queens down at the Colonial. That'll be my first thing, and then head up. It looks like it's going to be bigger than ever, which is very, very cool, very.
Welcome back. Thank you to Barry for his memory, and thank you to our major sponsors, Vidian Chevrolet, Benchmark, Federal Credit Union, Magic Memories, R.S. Strunk, Crowded Castle, and Cameron Peters Floral. We certainly appreciate that. We did miss, while we were away, we missed the LomCon Ready Mix, which is a new entry in this year's parade. There we have take a look. We've got some kids up on the concrete truck. The owner's family has been in Phoenixville for over 100 years, including owning the Phoenix building, which constructed the former Valley Forge Hospital. And both of the owners, both the owner's father and uncle were in World War II.
Pretty neat truck there, Rob.
It's neat to see all the things that show up in parades throughout the country. We had some friends that moved in from out west, and they came to see the Dogwood Parade one time, and they thought it was something out of a Norman Rockwell picture because they just don't have anything like this out west. It was just wonderful.
Truly blessed in Phoenixville with all the wonderful businesses and people that come out and support us.
Here's a float that's provided by the Phoenixville Borough Council and the Phoenixville Area School Board, celebrating the Civil Defense Team in action. And it's got a picture from the 1943 World War II, showing all the involvement from the volunteers, making sure that Phoenixville was as safe then as it is today. We've had a couple of other organizations that weren't able to join us today, but we certainly want to reach out and thank them for their willingness to at least participate. It was the Upper Providence Police Motorcycles. Again, not an optimal day to be out on a bicycle or a motorcycle, but we certainly appreciate their sending along their truck. So right across the bridge from Phoenixville is Montclair, and that's in Upper Providence. We've got some great surrounding communities, and for those of you watching, you can see the Avalon String Band right behind the police vehicle.
Strutting their stuff.
I think we're going to get a chance to see them perform here, and for anybody watching, they're going to come back to Crowded Castle after the parade and have a special performance back here. We certainly appreciate the fact that they were willing to show up in spite of the bad weather, and I think I lured them back here when I said that it was good that it never rained in a bar. So they were more than happy to come back and perform as our house band.
Yes, and we are excited and looking forward to them coming back.
So let's take a listen.
All right.
I have had the distinct pleasure to be named the parade marshal back in the late 80s, and my wife and I enjoyed the opportunity to wave to all of the residents of Phoenixville, and they waved back, and it was just a great warm feeling that Phoenixville showed that they are a community with loving for all. It was a two-way street.
Years ago when I was a kid, somehow my dad was able to convince the committee to bring the parade up to 5th and Main to the corner where the family funeral home is. So ever since then, we've had a community party, picnic, whatever you'd like to refer to it as, where people just come and we get to watch the end of the parade from there. One of his favorite things was sponsorship of the steam Calliope. So being that he passed in 2002, this will be the 16th year that we've continued to sponsor that in his memory. So I know a lot of the residents really like to see that truck in the parade, so it'll be there again this year.
One of my favorite memories of the Dogwood Parade is when we had a float. Everyone came out to get the float ready for Pumpkin Fest and decorated it. And then we threw out Frisbees to the crowd, and the kids were having so much fun throwing the Frisbees with each other. It was so much fun to watch.
Moment to go back out onto the street with Stephanie to see if she can't capture these folks for a quick interview. Stephanie, are you out there? Are they gonna stop for you? There we go.
Hi there. What are you driving in today?
Oh boy. Ford Model A.
A Ford Model A. Yes, and are you a veteran?
What, an old veteran sitting with him.
Well, it's an honor to have you in the parade today, sir. Back to you, Rob.
Looks like it's back to us, Dolly. It's, next up is it's a participation by our friends from Ohlert Brothers. Ohlert Brothers is a great local organization since 1948. They've been in the HVAC business, heating, ventilating, air conditioning business. They're up there on right outside of Royersford, but they've been able to join us today, which is a great opportunity for one more service, local great corporate citizen who's willing to participate and strut their stuff.
Pretty cool truck they got too. Nice colors. We're so thankful to having him today.
They were established in 1948 with the purchase of just one fuel delivery truck that cost $500. They pride themselves on being involved in local communities and participating in events and sponsoring Little League and soccer teams. The JAYCEES would like to thank Ohlert for their donation to the 75th annual Dogwood Parade. Ohlert Brothers, local comfort, local savings. It looks like not only do we have the Avalon String Band, but we have the Galena Brass Band.
Wow.
They were willing to show up, so let's take a listen.
Yes. We have Orion Communities. Orion is a neighborhood helping neighbors in need. For 40 years, Orion has assisted people in experiencing hardships due to poverty, disability, or illness in the Phoenixville area. This is Orion's second year in the Dogwood Parade. It was so much fun, they said last year, that they're coming back. The JAYCEES are so happy to have this organization be a part.
So the next up are the 1958 and 1959 Dogwood Queens. Pat Giampetro is the first Dogwood Queen in 1958, and Miss Williamson from 1959. So we're going to throw this down to Stephanie out on the street to see if we can't capture some special words from these.
What's it like being back in the Dogwood Parade after being the first pageant queen?
It's wonderful. A lot of nice people.
Absolutely. It's great to have you back representing the queens.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Rob.
Okay, well that's that's the start of something spectacular here, because while the Dogwood Parade is 75 years old, it actually dates back to when the Dogwood Queen was selected by the person who sold the most war bonds, and it was in 1958 where they started a pageant, and Pat Giampetro was the first queen there. So it's just really the start of something special, just as it was 75 years ago.
One of the fondest memories was being recognized to represent Phoenixville as the Dogwood Queen, and to get to meet many people. I was always made aware of the fact that the individual say, "Oh, now what year were you the Dogwood Queen?" So it was quite interesting to know that a lot of people remember that.
Probably one of my fondest memories, really, of the parade and the festival is actually Alan's snow cone and cotton candy stand. That's a personal thing for me, mainly because my dad actually worked at that stand when he was a young teenager, and he still likes to go actually down there at night and hang out and serve snow cones to the kids like he did 50-some years ago.
Working for this department for 21 years, I've been at every parade for 21 years. I think the best thing about the parade itself, and my greatest memory, is the fact that the community comes together for that one day. You have kids along the parade route that are waving to you, and everyone seems to be in a great mood. People line up their chairs for reserving their spots well in advance. We have a lot of events in town, but it seems like the Dogwood Festival and the Dogwood Parade itself is a culmination of a whole great week of events, and it has a chance for the opportunity for one moment, for that couple hours on that Saturday every year, for the community to come together as one. I'm looking forward to the 75th anniversary of the Dogwood Festival this year.
So next up, it looks like we have the participation from our neighbors out there to the west at Kimberton. So we've got some Kimberton Fire Company along with the Kimberton Community Fair Float. That's going to be held in July, so we encourage you, since the Dogwood Festival wasn't, the weather didn't cooperate, we would certainly encourage you to make sure that you make your way out to Kimberton, take in the fair, and be sure to buy a dozen donuts. No parade would be complete without all the fire protection, but people don't really understand the true value of how lucky we are to have this. And the surrounding communities, they participate in something called a mutual aid society, where basically all the fire companies come together to help out one another. When we had that terrible fire a couple of weeks back out at the Petra organization, everybody responded and turned something that could have been a tremendous disaster into something that was at least manageable. So it's really good the way that our community participates within itself, and then all the surrounding communities participate with us.
It's about us working together.
Well, the memories of the Dogwood Parade is when I was stationed at the Valley Forge General Hospital, because one of the patients of World War II. And while I was there, of course, I had gotten married and I've had children. And then we took advantage of the parade and been in the parade with the boys. And we had a wonderful time. Every chance I have to go to the parade, I would go.
So next up is the PAL Float. This is the Police Athletics League. It's a great organization that the police assist. They run out of the Civic Center, and one of their main focuses is their boxing. It really is a great opportunity for young kids to learn discipline, to learn control, and to be able to learn sportsmanship.
Absolutely. They also have wrestling. They also have a golfing program. They do a lot of things for the young girls and boys.
And it looks like they were really lucky to have worked umbrellas into their parade float today.
Wow. Look how beautiful in their purple and white. Our Phoenixville school colors.
I think they're going to be a successful float because, like so many others, they're actually throwing candy.
Yes.
What could be better?
It's looking good, beautiful. I wouldn't want to be a judge, Rod.
No?
No, I would not want to be a judge.
We're having so much fun just sitting here. Why would you want to go outside and be a judge?
No.
There's our man on the street with the portable camera taking it all in, and right behind him, past the Chester County Sheriff's vehicle. And next up looks like the float from our local Acme.
Oh, the Acme.
Do you go to the Acme?
Oh, yes.
Is it Acme or Acme?
Acme.
Acme. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just want to make sure.
Yes.
Just want to make sure.
Out there, Rob.
Normally, don't they have a big shopping cart that comes out?
Oh, yeah.
I guess the weather didn't help that, but this looks like it's just as much fun.
Oh, yeah, and they're throwing candy.
Why aren't we out there getting candy?
Because we're already sweet. We don't need candy.
Excellent. It's good to know. It's good to know. So the town really, in spite of the weather, it's nice to see that there's such support, that everybody showed up not only to participate in the parade, but also to show up to watch the parade. And we've watched the crowds grow here along Bridge Street. We're coming to you live from Crowded Castle, so we would certainly encourage you, if you're downtown or anywhere along the parade route, and you need a dry place to stop in and have a cold beer, stop down to Crowded Castle.
Crowded Castle, that's
If
where
you
it's
if you need a car, you should probably stop out at Vidian Chevrolet. They're one of our prime sponsors.
Oh,
if you need a bank account, you should you could stop at Benchmark. What's this? Is this it's a giant cow?
A Turkey Hill. Oh my goodness, that's my favorite ice cream.
Well, you should go out and see if they have some for you.
They might.
Where do you think you keep a giant cow like that when it's not in a parade?
Oh my goodness, look at that. How beautiful. The kids are really going to enjoy that.
It'll be good. And I'll tell you what, one of the things that's that you can't see on TV, but the Avalon string bands come back into Crowded Castle. So when the parade's done, you know where I think everybody needs to be?
Crowded Castle.
Yeah, life and times during the war era of World War II to Korea involved, a lot of residents in Phoenixville being interested in the war effort, especially in 1943 when the parade started. There was a big bond drive which helped start the parade and festival, so the citizens were very much involved. There's a lot of patriotism in the town at that time, and the town consisted of a large population of, a lot of iron workers and other industries that were booming at the time. So the town had a lot of people that wanted to be involved, and it was a good time. The purpose of the original Dogwood Queen in 1943 was, whoever sold the most war bonds was the Dogwood Queen. They didn't have a pageant yet. That wasn't until the 1950s. And believe it or not, they sold thousands of dollars, which is, a lot of money at that time period.
Back in 43 and 44, I belonged to a group called the Minute Maids, and we sold war bonds at the Dogwood Festival. The group was run by Mimi Baum-Landis, who was a sweetheart, and we had little hats and little red, white, and blue aprons, and we just had a wonderful time, and we sold some war bonds. And we had the Valley Forge General Hospital was overpacked at that time, so they were in the parade. And it was wonderful. We had such a good time, and we were all doing it all for the war effort.
Next up, we have a Garden of Reflection presented by one of our main sponsors, Cameron Peters Floral Designs. This features some of our nation's military. We certainly appreciate them and thank them for their service.
Garden of Reflections. What a beautiful float. We have another fire
Next up,
engine.
this is from Valley Forge. This is another one of the surrounding communities, obviously, that's always willing to step up and help in Phoenixville, whether it's fighting fires or participating in our parade to show our local pride. We certainly appreciate that.
Absolutely. Always ready to serve.
Next up, and I may have gotten a little bit ahead of myself earlier because now we actually have the Friendship Dive Rescue Unit. The Friendship Dive Rescue is led by Scott Hamrick. They've been serving since 1953. They have more than 25 highly skilled rescuers who are all volunteers from the surrounding area. Not only are they from the surrounding area, but this dive rescue unit services all of Chester County and the surrounding counties.
Wow.
We're lucky to have them. We really are.
Serve a large area.
That's my son driving the big white truck. Oh yeah, really? Oh yeah.
Get out of here.
He's an active member and really enjoys his time spent. It's a rare opportunity.
You must be very proud.
Oh, I'm very proud. I'm very proud.
Wonderful. You got to give him a wave.
I did give him a wave.
Okay.
I gave him a wave. And I used all my fingers. It's nice. This is just some of the equipment that the dive unit has. This is a dive boat that they're involved with both search and rescue. So obviously we want to always hope that they're involved with the rescue side of it, not just the search and recovery, but it's they've got access to some really, really tremendous equipment.
Wow. Very committed volunteers to save someone's life.
So next up is the PMYC Girls Lacrosse Program in a 1974 Volkswagen bus that's been restored and driven by the Mann family. PMYC Girls Lacrosse, Ryan Frost and Andrew Burke teach the girls to be strong, kind, and hardworking athletes.
Yes.
Yep. And now, for a special performance from inside Crowded Castle, we want to bring you the Avalon String Band. We're really appreciative for the fact that they're here, and we'd love to have you take a listen.
Can I come out and dance? Oh.
I can't believe this because I'm not sure which is better. Outside where the parade's going on or inside here where my partner Dolly has been dancing away. Clearly she was not born with the 2 left feet that I have, and that was just amazing to watch. I looked over in my chair and you were dancing. I couldn't imagine. And then you're out on the dancing on the floor. Oh boy, I had no idea. I thought we were here just for commentary.
No.
I had no idea you'd be here for dance.
D is for dancing.
D, all right.
Dolly dances.
Got it. I understand.
You know I
now.
wasn't dancing, did you?
I understand.
Loved it.
Next up is the Phoenixville Area Soccer Club. Just a great opportunity for everybody in the community to get out and participate. Walk along the parade, see and be seen. That's what the Dogwood Parade is all about.
Another one of my favorite memories was the parade marshal. And Dick Kunch, seen here in the picture, was parade marshal with his son, Kurt Kunch. Kurt, many of you know from wealth management in Phoenix Federal, and Dick is always been known, but Dick was a JC back in the 60s and 70s, and he was honored as being parade marshal.
My favorite Dogwood memory is the Dogwood Parade. I've been a Phoenixville resident all my life. I'm out there on parade day, putting my chair out at 5:30 in the morning, along with everybody else putting their chairs out. I've taken my nieces and nephews, and now I'm actually taking my grandchildren out there to watch the parade. I've never missed it, and I used to march in it when I was in 7th grade.
I first moved into Phoenixville in 1963, so it was the spring of 1964 where I witnessed the first Dogwood Parade, and I was amazed that for a little town like Phoenixville, that the parade was so big and so varied. The parade started at 1 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock, 3 hours later, there were still units that were going past the reviewing stand, and of course, the Dogwood Fair in the park there was a big event after the parade.
As a new resident of Phoenixville myself, and Vivian Chevrolet of Phoenixville also being a new resident, we are proud to be sponsoring the 75th anniversary of the Phoenixville Dogwood Festival and Parade. And we look forward to meeting every one of you out there on the parade route or during the festival.
We wanted to sponsor the Dogwood Parade. We're new to the area, and we thought, what a better way than to be a part of such a great event. Something that started 75 years ago, something that started to raise money for our war bonds. And to be a part of that, we thought it would be a great way to introduce ourselves to the Phoenixville area. Vivian Chevrolet of Phoenixville and the Vivian family are so happy and proud to be a sponsor of the Dogwood Parade. And we look forward to seeing everyone there on Saturday at the parade.
Benchmark has been in existence for over 75 years. While we got our start as a single sponsored credit union for Wyeth employees and their family members, we were granted a community charter in April of 2015 to be able to offer the benefits of membership to anyone living, working, or worshiping, or attends school in Chester County. We love Phoenixville, we see how much it's growing, and we want to help the community grow and also get our name out there to let them know that we are here for them. At Benchmark Federal Credit Union, you will never be just a number. So come on down to the Phoenixville location and discover what we can offer you today.
For those of you who are down on Bridge Street or anywhere along the parade route, we would certainly invite you down to Crowded Castle. We cannot thank them enough for their hospitality. It's just been wonderful. Vivian Chevrolet for their participation. Benchmark Federal Credit Union, R. Strunk, funeral home.
Okay, we're going back down to Kids Corner with Emma.
It's your first parade?
This is my first parade, actually.
Oh, cool. So it's your first parade being in the parade? Well,
it is really cool. It's really fun. I love handing out candy to everybody.
Yeah, that's a fun part.
It's the best part, I think. Everybody's so excited, even when it's raining.
Yeah. Back to you guys.
All right, well, it looks like we've got Zumba with Donna and Chelsea, and they're going to be performing Kidogo. This is their 5th year in the parade, and they've placed 2nd in dance for those years, and they love being a part of the parade.
Oh, wow, look at them go, Rob, in their orange and black. Woo, they are hot. All right, we have the Zumba with Donna and Chelsea performing. They are looking good in their black and orange outfits.
It looks like Halloween out there. Are they sure it's not the Halloween
does.
parade?
I love it. They're looking good. Pumped up. All righty. This is their 5th year. They're gonna dance for you now. Kid Dog, they call it. Kid Dog. They're performing Kid Dog.
Kid Dog? That's not how you pronounce that, is it? Kidogo.
Oh, Kidogo. Correct me, Rob.
Kid
I
Dog.
told you.
There's an O at the end.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe it's Kid Dog.
Kid Dog. Okay. Whatever it is that's hot. See, that's where I need to be out there dancing.
You were just out there dancing.
I know. I love dancing, Rob. Oh, you could do it too.
I could not do
I
that.
can teach you.
No, I have 2 left feet. 2 left feet. And now
I've been
for a couple
resident
of Dogwood
Phoenixville for
memories.
25 years now. I am on the Dogwood Parade Committee, and our brigade, the Be Love Strutters, will be participating this year, and we're all looking forward to it. That's 2 passions of mine, is the mummers and the veterans' history. Put them together, it's great, because what the mummers do is they put on performances, and then you bring in the veterans. My father, who served in World War II, he fought with Patton, and that's just makes it so much more special.
In 1993, when I was parade chairman, and Karen Williams can relate to it this year, you know, all that hard work you put together, you're just hoping it's going to be a beautiful day and everything will come together. And of course, that morning it poured rain, so I was a nervous wreck. About 10 a.m. on the morning of the parade, it got sunny and it got beautiful and ended up being a beautiful day. And I actually got to use the line that everyone's using in their life: "It's not going to rain on my parade."
With Warren with the State House of Representatives, and this is his district. So what is your favorite part about the Dogwood Parade?
So my favorite part is giving the candy to the children. That's absolutely awesome. And just seeing everybody out and all the participants, it's just a tremendous tradition.
And what is it like representing Phoenixville as part of your district?
So, you know, you don't want to play favorites, but if I had to say there was a favorite, the town of Phoenixville is so connected and vibrant. People work together. I love this town.
Yes, me too. Well, thanks for being here today. Back to you, Rob.
And there goes Warren Camp getting back into that Vidian Chevy pickup truck. I don't know whether you know it or not, and I may not even be right on this, but I think today's Warren's birthday.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, we got
Warren's
to wish
birthday.
Warren Camp a happy birthday.
Why, today's my dad's birthday, too.
Oh,
He's 77 years old today. 77. Yeah, it's It's a heck of a day. My dad was the only guy who ever thought it was nice that the town threw a parade for him on his birthday every time.
Oh, what a special. Your father deserved it. He's been a very generous, giving man.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have some of the borough vehicles. So in addition to all the equipment that the fire companies have, we're lucky to be in a borough that's so well equipped. So while it's not normal, here's our trash truck.
Oh, yes. And I'm a borough employee, so I'm very proud.
Excellent. We don't always see trash trucks like in the Rose Bowl parade or the Orange Bowl parade, but we've got a trash truck. And I'll tell you, apart from the trash truck, this next piece of equipment, I need that for my yard cleanup.
Oh, yes.
It's going to take that just to, when I'm done cutting grass, it's going to take that just to clean up all the grass in my yard.
Goodness. What an expensive piece of equipment. Well, we thank the borough for taking the time and the effort to be a part of the JAYCEES.
It is nice. Well, we should probably thank all the taxpayers, too, for paying their bills so that we can make sure that our streets are cleared. They did a great job with snow removal this year, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yes,
they did a great job with snow removal. I'm not even sure what you would use that for. What do you think you use that piece of equipment for?
Oh, to dig into...
your kids' clothes if they're messy?
No.
Go clean up your room.
Dirt or maybe concrete.
Did you say dessert? Concrete, okay. All right.
Yeah.
This is why you and I are announcing parades and not running heavy equipment. Hey, you can't use that for digging into concrete. I'm sure that's exactly what it would sound like. There go a couple of our police officers on bicycles.
Okay.
Another trash truck.
The trash truck? Oh, wow.
I think we may be getting close to the end.
Hey, that's what I was thinking, Rob. I was just about to say that.
You know, it's a shame that the weather didn't cooperate, but, you know, I think looking by the crowds on the street and the people that are participating, it was still a tremendous success.
Oh, absolutely. This has been a fantastic day. Just having right here in the Crown.
We had the good fortune of living right on the parade route on Main Street, and many, many friends and all of our relatives would come. My mom would make a huge spread, and we just had made a day of it. It was a fantastic time. People were 3-4 deep on the parade route, and it was just so much fun to see everybody. It was really a community event, and it was a fantastic day for everyone.
Hello, we're back now we're going to go down to Emma. She's with one of her classmates, and she's going to give us an interview.
Hi, I'm Emma, and today we have Madison Rosick. So, Maddie, what's your favorite, what are you looking forward in the parade? Well, most of the day. Yeah, cool. So what have you seen so far? The dancers, the cleanup crew, officers. Yeah. Is it a cool parade? Yeah. Back to you guys.
We're back, and for those of you who missed it on the screen, is a police car from East Vincent Township, another one of our surrounding communities that's more than willing to step up and help, not only participate in our parade, but make our world a little safer. So we certainly appreciate that. There's lots going on out there today, and there's lots going on down here. You know, coming live from Crowded Castle, it's awesome. I think they've been very kind, and they've given us glasses of water, but I think it's almost Miller time. What do you think? We'd certainly invite everybody down here for a nice warm place to be, warm and dry, and cold beer. So head on down to Crowded Castle. We'd love to see you down here. That was the float from Veg Fest. Make sure to mark your calendars for the 3rd annual Veg Fest on Saturday, September 29th from 11 to 5 downtown on Bridge Street between Main and Gay.
What's that music, Rob? You got
here's a car from Magic Memories. They're one of our main sponsors here. They handle childcare out on Valley Forge Road. We certainly appreciate their willingness to step up and make this all possible.
We got a band going this way. Future Phantoms. Oh, shit! Woo! Uh-oh.
The Future Phantoms is the 2017 ICFL Championship football team.
76ers. This is...
So now we're going to head down and see if we can't get Emma to talk to one of those folks on the future Phantoms float. Emma, are you out there?
All right.
Well, we missed Emma.
got the
They just kept
76ers.
moving, but here we go. This is the 76ers pep band. So let's
All
take a
right.
listen. Making it to the playoffs. Villanova.
Oh, this is
the
our
Eagles.
year.
Eagles are still the world champions.
Oh, absolutely.
They were at the start of the parade. They still are.
Oh, man, this is great.
So right down to Stephanie on the street to talk to the folks at Phoenixville Karate.
Active member of Phoenixville. So what is your favorite part of Phoenixville? I did. Definitely. Well, it's so great to have
Yeah, this is their 17th year for Phoenixville Karate in the parade. Phoenixville Karate, where they're building character one kick at a time.
What an awesome float there.
Is this train service coming back to
Oh,
Phoenixville?
I think the train service is back on its way to Phoenixville. The Reading. Wow, isn't that awesome? I think it's been a while, Rob, since we've had that in the parade.
I think it has been a while.
Wow, this is something to celebrate coming back. This may be a sign. It may happen.
This represents the Reading Railroad Heritage Museum. So we certainly appreciate them showing up.
Yes.
Iraqi freedom, Afghanistan, of course, not long after 9/11 when we invaded Fallujah, 2004, I believe that was. And so in that time period, it was kind of right before the real revitalization of Phoenixville, really within a couple years. And as you know, the Iraq War and Afghanistan War continued through that time period when Phoenixville really started to rise up. And I think, in that time period, it kind of like went back to that early time period of the Dogwood Parade and Festival during World War II, where there was more a resurgence of patriotism, and you saw that kind of stuff in the parade again, which probably lacked for a long time, honestly, since going back to almost the Korean War. It was kind of a turnaround there where it kind of came back, and it was at the same time also that the town was coming back, so it was kind of a interesting combination. But once again, Phoenixville being involved so much in America's wars that there's a lot of, friends of mine personally now, when I was in high school and out of high school, that were actually fighting in Iraq. So there was a lot more of another personal connection there during a war period, and I know the town had quite a connection as well with that.
Favorite memory of Dogwood Festival are the years that we spent time putting together Dogwood floats. We built one representing Reeves Park, one of the Colonial, one of the Valrio. Just the time spent together building something that the community could enjoy and share is definitely a favorite memory.
One of my fondest memories of Phoenixville is the Phoenixville JAYCEES Parade and Dogwood Festival. It is a signature event of the community. I've been attending it for years. It is one of the highlights of our community.
One of my fondest memories was 2003 when the Colonial Theater was celebrating our 100th anniversary. The year before, we went to the JAYCEES to ask them if they would consider mentioning that in the parade or honoring the theater in some way, and it turned out they just decided to make the whole parade the theme celebration of the 100th anniversary. So they built a wonderful float, and the Queen and her court rode on it throughout the town.
Well, 6 or 7 months from now, hopefully the weather will be a little bit better. It'll probably be a little colder. And we'll be looking for the Phoenixville Firebird Festival. The Firebird Festival has a new location this year. They're not going to be at Friendship Field.
No.
They're going to be over at Veterans Park.
Oh, wow.
So they've been able to continue the tradition of having a community bonfire and having a great opportunity for people to show up in the winter and have a tremendous time. That's a little weird when it comes to floats, but you know, if you can't have a good Druid festival in the middle of December, December's not complete.
Creativity. We have to respect all creativity. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
I think it's a bird, Rob. It could be a bird and it could be a plane. There's two things.
Or it could be Superman.
Rather than identifying a specific moment in time, I thought about the positive energy and joy that I feel when I'm participating in the Dogwood celebration. The sights, the sounds, the feel of the event is something that brings me great joy, and you feel that energy.
My best memory from the pageant would probably be the day before at the dress rehearsal. Us girls gathered on stage in a circle and they brought out these empanadas, made every year as a tradition, and it was just really neat. There were a bunch of tiny empanadas in foil packages and we all grabbed like 2 or 3 and sat in a circle, and we talked about how we were proud of how we're able to talk in front of the stage now and how we're happy that we perfected the opening number, and just it was a really great feeling. It was really happy. And it was also kind of cool to be able to take part in the traditions.
Welcome back. We're live here at Crowded Castle, and we have something great this year that we've never had before in honor of the 75th Dogwood Parade, and that's we have an entire Queen float. So we have lots of Queens who've participated in the last 75 years of this wonderful event. So we're going to go out there now to Steph and see if she can't grab some interviews with the Queens. Steph, it's up to you.
We are here with all of the previous Queens of the Dogwood Parade. Can you tell me your name?
Janet Natfield. Anna Weichel, 2010. Rachel.
Generations of Queens here represented at the 75th Annual Dogwood Parade. Back to you, Rob.
Well, we're back. And one of the things that you know, to get this much participation, both from a volunteerism, not only the people who run the pageant, but the people who participate in the pageant, you know, this is just a marvelous representation of all the wonderful people that we have in Phoenixville. And for them to care enough to come back and participate in this, the 75th anniversary. It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. I had a chance to see some of them over at the Colonial Theater. It was just nice to see them all together, because we had, from Pat Giampetro in 1958 to Gabby now, it's just a tremendous period of time that they all share something in common, and there we have it. Let's just take a moment and watch this, because it really is just wonderful to see a community come together and celebrate its excellence in this way.
Beautiful.
It's nice that they all have that Queen wave, too.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I think we're going to get a little more coverage than they did at the royal wedding today. What do you think?
I think so. And you'll be able to come back on Boxy Pop and keep seeing it over and over again.
That is exactly
and
right.
That's something to have as a treasure, Rob, to be able to look back and continue to see that.
Exactly. Exactly. So I think they're participating in a situation here where they're going to honor all of the veterans by displaying the American flag. The flag has significance in the fact that it was Karen Williams, who's the parade chairperson. This was her grandfather's funeral flag. So let's just stop and listen, because they're going to be playing the national anthem. So I think we should all pause a moment to honor and to celebrate all of those who have served to make this country such a wonderful and safe and free place.
Absolutely. What an honor.
It's nice that on the side of that it says 75 years of tradition and excellence, and I think that's Phoenixville's had more than 75 years of tradition and excellence. But our thanks to the Phoenixville JAYCEES for putting this on for so many years and making it such a wonderful experience for Armed Forces Day. It really is wonderful. Now we are gonna go and show one more of our historic memories.
So during the Vietnam era, the town itself was, similar in terms of the type of people that were living in town, going back to World War II. But at that time period, Some of the businesses were doing well, but the iron company, or the steel company I should say at the time, was starting to kind of dwindle down. So the town itself was kind of losing industry, losing business, and of course, right in the midst of one of the most controversial wars in American history. So there was a lot of, the patriotism might not have been there as much as it was during World War II. Of course, in the parade and the festival, it didn't really involve a patriotic celebration. So it was a little bit of a different attitude at that time period. And of course, in 1970, a lot of Phoenixville residents, of course, were in Vietnam. So it was a very personal thing at that time, and so it was a little bit of probably a different attitude in the parade.
We've got one more commercial from our sponsors, and then we'll be back to wrap things up.
Benchmark has been in existence for over 75 years. While we got our start as a single sponsored credit union for Wyeth employees and their family members, we were granted a community charter in April of 2015 to be able to offer the benefits of membership to anyone living, working, or worshiping, or attends school in Chester County. We love Phoenixville, we see how much it's growing, and we want to help the community grow and also get our name out there to let them know that we are here for them. At Benchmark Federal Credit Union, you will never be just a number. So come on down to the Phoenixville location and discover what we can offer you today.
As a new resident of Phoenixville myself, and Vivian Chevrolet of Phoenixville also being a new resident, we are proud to be sponsoring the 75th anniversary of the Phoenixville Dogwood Festival and Parade. And we look forward to meeting every one of you out there on the parade route or during the festival.
We wanted to sponsor the Dogwood Parade. We're new to the area, and we thought, what a better way than to be a part of such a great event. Something that started 75 years ago, something that started to raise money for our war bonds. And to be a part of that, we thought it would be a great way to introduce ourselves to the Phoenixville area. Vivian Chevrolet of Phoenixville and the Vivian family are so happy and proud to be a sponsor of the Dogwood Parade. And we look forward to seeing everyone there on Saturday at the parade.
We're back live at Crowded Castle, and we'd like to just take a moment to thank everybody for all of the things that went on here today. We'd like to thank Crowded Castle for being our host. We'd like to thank the weather for cooperating. We'd like to thank you for your endurance and willingness to come out and participate. We'd love to thank Vivian Chevrolet and Benchmark Federal Credit Union for their serious sponsorship, and all of our sponsors who did the historic memories and who did the individual memories for people throughout the community over these last 75 years. The Dogwood Parade and the Dogwood Festival, they've been amazing. They're one of the pillars of this community from the standpoint of the quality of life, and we certainly appreciate that. I'd like to thank Emma and Steph for doing their, Dolly and I got to sit here in a nice warm place. They're out in the street in the weather. We certainly appreciate their efforts. We appreciate everybody who was willing to stop and let us interview them. It's terrific. Thanks for your patience, because while the parade was different than what they expected it to be, it was still awesome. And we appreciate everybody, Avalon String Band, the brass band for showing up, the high school band. It wouldn't be, the parades aren't the same without fire trucks and bands, so we certainly appreciate that.
Rob, what was your favorite part of the parade?
My favorite part of the parade was the whole parade, because I couldn't pick a favorite part. It was always changing. It was always wonderful. Like you said before, I wouldn't want to be a judge. I think I'd much rather just sit in here and watch it.
Oh,
how about you? Did you have a special part?
Oh, of course, my dance. I got to dance.
I even forgot that you were dancing.
Oh, that was my favorite part. I loved it.
Well, you can see the street sweeper in the image behind us, so that must mean that we're ready to wrap it up.
Yes.
So we appreciate you watching. Remember, this is live stream. You can go back and watch any part of it or the entire thing anytime you want. We appreciate it. Thanks to our sponsors and all of the participants. Have a great day and a very, very safe weekend.
Thank you again. Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you, Dolly. Appreciate it.
See you at the parade.